Oh, so I just did this whole video without even recording. Can you believe it? So this topic is rounding decimals. And in order to round decimals, you want to know what the place value is of each digit within your number. Um, P.S. Please subscribe to my channel and like the videos that are helpful to you. So we know that the number before the decimal is the ones place. It's also our whole number if we take off all the decimals. So one way to remember what the decimal place values is if you imagine that there's a little one underneath the decimal point, and then you put zeros where you want to end. So this two, if let's say we wanted to end at the two, that's going to be the tenth place. See that little 10 you see there? That's the tenth place. The nine, we added zero there under the nine, and now the nine we know is in the hundredths place, and the eight is in the thousandths place. If you had a number after eight, that would be the 10,000ths spot. Okay, so it tells us here that we want to round to the nearest hundredth. Oh, whoops. Can I undo all my erasing? Yes, let's do that. Okay, so we want to find the nearest hundredth. So here's where 100 is, which means it's at the 9. Okay, once we draw our line there, so we know we want to round right there at that 9. Our number has to end at the 9. We can't have a number after it, but we're only looking at two numbers. All the other numbers have to stay the same. So 3.2 will stay the same as 3.2. And we're going to either change the 9, leave it a 9, or we're going to raise this number actually to 30, because when you add 1 to 9, you get 10, which now makes that to 30. What we're actually saying is we're looking 3.29, wherever the line is, and you put a 0, to 3.3. So we want to know, this is like, I guess if you just looked at the thousandths, 298 thousandths, this is 290, and this is 300. 298 is closer to the 300. So we're going to put 3.30, and you need the 0 because they said round to the hundredth place. So you have to have a hundredth place. So it would be 3.30. The other thing, when you look at this 8 right here, if it's 5 or bigger, you're always going to add 1 to that number that is to the left of that line. Okay, so the line just kind of tells us what are we rounding to. Okay, so this one says round to the nearest tenth. Now, if you remember, tenth is the first spot, so that 6 is our tenth. We're rounding right here. Okay, so we're only looking at the 6 and the 5. So we're saying, is this closer to 0.60 or 0.70? 65, that 5 is right on the line. If it's 5 or greater, you have to add 1 to the 6. So it will be 0.7. And we have to stop there. We can't have any more numbers, any more decimals past that 10th spot because we're rounding to the 10th. So it has to stop there. Okay, we're going to do one more just for kicks and giggles. Oh, we're rounding to the nearest whole number. So we have 4.19. If it's the whole number, we're just going to lop off the decimals. Again, we're just looking at the 4 and the 1. Because 1 is less than 5, we just keep our whole number 4, and that's our answer is 4. And that's the end of the lesson.